Hello and welcome everyone to Twin Flames, the Great Spiritual Awakening podcast, where every week you can hear real life stories from people who answered the call of divine love. My name is Dennis. I'm your host and a certified ascension coach with Twin Flames Universe. And I've been on my Twin Flame journey for a couple of years now. And thanks to the teachings of Union, I found my true Twin Flame and I'm living in union with her now. For our episode today, I'm really excited to have here with me Yoreen. Hello, Yoreen. How are you doing today?
Hey, Dennis. Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good too. Thanks for asking. I'm really excited to have you here on the podcast, and we're gonna get to a couple of topics with you today. And just to quickly introduce you, your journey began in 2019 when you awakened to your twin flame journey. And later on in that year, you went all in with Twin Flame Ascension School and got the all class pass. And that's about exactly 3 years ago. And in the 3 years since then, from what I know, what you told me, a lot has happened on your journey when it comes to you exploring who your true twin flame is, and also you healing and discovering your life purpose as an artist. So I'm really excited to talk about all of these things with you. And yeah, just to get us started, I want to begin with you at the very beginning when your twin flame journey began in 2019. And I'm wondering how exactly did that start for you, and how did you awaken to your twin flame journey?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It's super cool to be here and to talk about my journey. I guess my journey began in 2019, but it really actually began in like 2018.
Mm.
Um, when I was doing music with one of my college friends at the time, and we were sharing all kinds of music from different influences. So I guess world music, jazz music, and everything like that. And he said like, "Oh, I know this little artist. Like, you should check him out." And at first I was like, I didn't even like actually listen to her music. I was like, "Oh, he's cute, but not my type."
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know why I did that. It was kind of funny. But I forgot about it for a few months. And then I had some challenges, I guess, on the second half of 2018 to move through. And I fell upon his music yet again. And it helped me, I guess, through a few challenges. It was like very calming, very peaceful. It was a vibe of it, basically, very joyful, childlike, um, kind of music that I guess I want to make and things like that. So I was like, oh, cool. And started, I guess, seeing it on Instagram. And I was like, who is this kid? Like, and why do I feel like he's stealing things from my consciousness and, you know, manifesting them into reality? And one day in 2019, I was in Paris and with a few friends, and I was like, I want to go to some shows. And so I went to some shows, and he was in Paris at the time, is not from France. So I was like, well, yeah, good opportunity to go see this good musician. Um, and basically, like all of my friends bailed out on me for mysterious reasons, like one at a time. And I was like, oh well, it's not the first time I've been at a concert, at a show by myself, so whatever. And yeah, I just went to his show, and it was like this thought of like, why are we sharing the same consciousness, but like amplified, basically. It was like a big awakening moment, I guess you could say. I did not see it like that at the time, especially because I was going out with someone. But I think it was bad. And that's how it began. Like I wasn't feeling very happy in my relationships. So I kind of entered the relationship I was in. And like during the few months between like this concert, which was like February 2019 and like May or June 2019, I was like still asking questions and yeah, that's how it began basically. It was this big questioning and kind of like slow but very powerful awakening.
Okay. So basically you went to this musician's concert and he kind of caused your twin flame awakening.
Yeah, that's it.
And then when did you first come upon the word, like did you know about twin flames at that point, or how did you find out about twin flames then?
I didn't know anything about it. Um, I didn't know anything about it, and but I'm kind of curious about the world and how it works, and so I was like, I can't be without answers.
Mm-hmm.
I have to have answers. And so when it started making me crazy, and that I didn't find answers on my own, I kind of Googled them. Like, what do you do when you like someone? Or what does this mean? Or things like that. And kind of came upon first soulmates and then like twin flame um, blogs and videos. And slowly began to see like Jeff and Julia videos also on my YouTube channel. I guess my YouTube account. And yeah, that's how it began, May 2019. And I bought the book in June 2019 because I was like, this is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not boring or like kind of generic kind of advice, like of a twin flame experts that I see.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like kind of grounding and legit. So I'll buy the book. And yeah, I knew about twin flames like that, but I when I saw the definition of twin flames, I was like, yep, this is it.
Mm-hmm. And then with the fact that this person who awakened you to the twin flame journey, and you then began exploring as your true twin flame, what did that bring up for you that he is a well-known musician?
Mm, it bring it brought out a lot, actually. It was kind of a messy period in my life. I was starting my artistic journey as well. That's when I started doing like digital illustrations. And so I went on Patreon. We talked a little bit, but it would always trigger me. And I was like, why? Like we are complete strangers. Like, where does this even come from? Like, how can I not doubt that there is something meant to be there, you know? So I had a lot of doubt. Um, I guess healing doubt was like one of the main things that I did on my twin flame journey.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of triggers that I did not recognize at first. But also good things like, his music was peaceful, but he was actually like, um, I guess I felt in my heart that contrary to most people, I was not seeing him for his great music, like kind of genius jazz music or something. I was kind of seeing it for the human being that he was. And he actually had like beliefs and values of life that nobody around me ever thought about, but that were inside me since forever, I guess. And one thing that he taught me, because I guess like the twin flame journey is like about having a teacher, like the greatest teacher ever. One thing that it taught me is that I didn't need to go to like huge schools or conservatory to start on my artistic journey. So that was kind of a push as well. It was difficult, lots of triggers, but also a push, big push in life purpose.
I see.
Yeah.
And I guess just to mention at this point, Jeff and Shelia share in their teaching that like being famous is a choice that both twin flames make. So like if you are famous, your twin flame will be famous and vice versa. And I'm like sure you're familiar with that. That's like kind of one of these things that almost like the first thing everyone stumbles upon when they find Jeff and Shelia, because they have this video up on YouTube where they talk specifically about this. So how did you deal with like that information or that like teaching when it comes to that, and still being guided to explore with this person whether they are your twin flame?
Oh dear. I guess that was a trigger as well. um, yeah, I guess I didn't want I haven't thought about like being famous. I thought about doing art in my life. And I thought about how my life would look like and how my career would be. And I guess like when you're an artist, like you end up having some type of following. But the truth is like I don't know. And I think that's such a sensitive and deep topic. And I think like we're still uncovering like what at least I'm still uncovering like what it is all about, like what God is basically trying to show me with his connection with this person. Um, but yeah, I thought about it, and it was like a cause for doubt as well. But it was also a big push to trusting God. I guess the big like counterbalance to like all this doubt I was carrying is like, do you trust God? And when you ask a question, do you trust the signs and do you trust the response? And for now, like the signs, at least at first, like the signs were like showing me like it was synchronicities always, things that I thought about life that no one ever thought about that he was showing. And yeah, it was like a big lesson in surrendering, and it still is actually. I don't know. Sorry, I
Yeah,
don't know if you have more questions about that, but like it's
I
a
do,
very
because
deep topic.
it is. That's such an interesting topic, because it's really about, kind of, I feel like it's really about how to honor who God is guiding you to explore with, while also at the same time honoring the teaching and how twin flames work. And it's kind of like in your case, like a really fine line between, well, instead of me saying stuff, I guess I'm just going to go to my next question, which will lead us to the next point with this, is like in these 3 years where you've been on your twin flame journey and really healing and exploring with this person, have you had like moments or points where you were like, okay, no, he's definitely not my twin flame, let's just let go of him and explore with someone else? And if so, how did that go?
Yeah, I did have this moment. it was an interesting 3 years. Like it kind of eventful. Like in 2020, right in the middle of COVID, we hadn't had much contact, and I guess because of COVID, like everyone else, it was challenging to make connections. And I also had a close group of friends here where I live in north of France. And I was starting to, I guess, be attracted to that other person. I was like, oh my gosh, why? You know, I thought I had stopped doubting who my twin flame was. And then I guess I was so triggered by him. And by the first person I thought was my twin flame, that I just like, at some point I felt like, where were all the values that I loved at first? Like, they're not showing anymore, and we're not in contact, and I'm kind of giving up hope. But at the same time, this other person is like getting more place into my life, and we seem to be kindred spirits and kindred spirits, kindred. I don't know how to pronounce that. But yeah, what do I do? And then in June 2020, God invited me to explore with that other person if they were my twin flame. And so I like blocked the musicians on all social media, stopped listening to music, erased like everything that reminded me of him, and went all in with that other person. And actually, that other person was like nothing like my twin flame. He was actually a soulmate. But it took a few months to discover that. And in these few months, were in the midst of COVID and my studies, and like asking myself, who am I in this world? Like, what do I do? Like, it was a big self-discovery, I guess. And so it was a huge time for me for healing. And it was funny because like that person was closer in distance to me, but I never felt so alone. And so I was like, okay, having companionship, it comes from inside. It doesn't come from another person. Like, and it was a huge lesson, one of the huge lessons that I had from this first twin flame experience. And then when I was through with that, I had a few months of like not having anyone in sight who I thought was my twin flame, and then I explored shortly with another person. So two false twin flames two false twin flame experiences, and that other person was like open like to explore with me, and then we came to a mutual agreement that we weren't that close, and we weren't that alike. It was not matching there. So yeah, it was like I guess 9 months to a year of blocking my twin flame person. All that to say that you don't have to be the runner, if that ever existed, to like block your twin flame. And it makes me think of like something that Adam and Brian, who are in the community, say. Sometimes it's that they had a few months of no contacts, but they needed it to focus on themselves. And it felt so relieving because I knew that it was a year where I had grown so much. So yeah, I definitely had like a huge, it looked like a dip in my twin flame relationship, but it was actually maybe a growth spurt, I would say.
And then after these 9 months, what was it that then made you go back to being guided to explore with that first person, the musician?
A few things. Funnily enough, even though it was blocked everywhere, he still found ways to get himself into my life in like very unexpected ways. As I mentioned earlier, is like he's I guess he's following like other musicians and people that are really like music, like jazz music and world music. It used to be small, but like and my brother and my dad and my uncle started out of nowhere sending me links to his music when it was blocked,
Wow.
like with no context. um, I would see him even though it was blocked like everywhere and on social media, and I could not like. It should have been easy to like escape him, if I can say so. Um, but it wasn't. And then when I really confronted my feelings, because I guess I still had feelings for this person, I was like, the things that I thought were like him getting farther and farther away in 2020 were actually triggers that I wasn't seeing or that I didn't want to address. Some of them, it was my fault. Like I guess we were in I was hoping like to have some answers and closure, and I guess impatience came in at that point. And I was just like, I gotta know, and this doesn't seem to go anywhere, so bye, you know. And part of it was like a huge thing that I learned in 2021 is that even though everyone is like saying like, oh, it's fine, like your music is great and like you're a super human being, things like that. If your twin flame is triggering you, like it's safe to trust that. If it's upsetting you, like truly, it's safe to trust that and to heal. Because I was like, most of the time in our relationship, I was like, what is wrong with me? Why am I being so bothered and triggered by something said to someone else or to me or in that circumstances and the way he acted in that situation? And everyone else is like praising him for great work and being a great human and I wasn't trusting myself to feel my feelings completely. And the thing with doubting is that as I wasn't seeing him as myself, as my twin flame, I was like, oh yeah, whatever, it's outside of me. I don't have to heal it. But actually it was like, well, I'm his twin flame. First of all, he's gonna trigger me like no one else. And also, if I'm the divine feminine in this relationship, I'm gonna see things that I don't like. Not that he's a bad person or, you know, it's just the way twin flame relationships are. Like you're just gonna see things that you don't like and that you will have to heal. And that's the way it is. And so when I accepted that, life was way easier. And started to heal completely through and saying like, well, it's okay if like no one else sees what I'm seeing, good or bad, like deep or shallow, like it's my journey. And I need to heal that crap now. I don't want to swear too much, but yeah.
So over the years, what do you feel have you learned when it comes to honoring who God guides you to explore as your twin flame?
Oh, I would say to surrender control. Um, but to be really honest with yourself and where you're at. Right now, I'm still exploring if this person is my twin flame. And a big thing that I learned while doing coaching and with my coach Michaela is that you have to practice like radical non-attachment to how it's gonna look and how God is gonna present things to you. And yeah, I guess it's a balance between like trusting your heart and also like logical thinking. Like, because yeah, it's like it's your journey with God, I guess. It's you don't have like a set that way to do that. You don't have a plan. You can plan, you can control basically. Like you can say like a year from now I'm gonna be with my twin flame. It's gonna be like God is gonna send you this person and then he's gonna say like, oh, whatever. And also he's gonna test your faith and maybe say like, okay, like if you were to give that up completely, what would you do? And then it's gonna say like, actually, like you have practiced radical non-attachment now, and you can go back to it and enjoy it in a healthy way. So it's all about trusting God, but I say that trusting God is not easy. It's something that you learn, and you gotta learn it with the right persons, like right people. And I can honestly say that if I hadn't had the support of my friends in the community, like people that pursue the same spiritual journey as me, I would have like gone up into a wall like so many more times than I did. If had I been alone, like basically doing this with only me and myself. And sometimes I guess it takes another person to say like, hey, you're going in the wrong direction here. Like, or maybe you should take a step back. And that's God speaking through them. And that's what I like about this journey and cultivating a community of people cultivating God within themselves is that you start to hear God like every day through everyone. And it's not rare that I have to practice radical non-attachment to everything that I know. And that's just how the journey is. I I gotta find this balance, I guess, between like practicing like healthy skepticism and like going all in with my intuition. And it's like, you know, I don't want to attach to this person. And I don't want to attach to the life they live, how great it is, because I do live a great life too. I don't want to project on them, but I also want to take what God is mirroring to me through that person and saying, all right, I see this and I go all in with this until either we come into union or there is nothing else to explore.
I really love what you're saying, because especially this aspect of like radical non-attachment, that's something you have to learn on this journey, regardless of whether someone is your twin flame or not. Because the point of twin flames is not to get attached to that person or see them as your source or anything, but it is to always stay in a state of non-attachment and surrender to God. And I feel like, a really important point that you bring up is, and with what you shared and also with this whole topic that we're having, is how like with the twin flame journey, it can kind of like be misused to escape into like a fantasy and like cling to a person, and you don't even need to have like a famous person for that. You can do that with any person, put them on a pedestal and make up this fantasy instead of realizing that it's actually this grounded journey where you have to put in the work and you have to face, your things and work through them. And it's just like, not this like rainbow unicorn and pinky stuff thing that like lifts you up in cloud 7 or whatnot. And obviously there is you growing in love, and it's divine and beautiful and all of that, but it's not this like thing that allows you to escape from reality is the point.
Yeah.
So my question to you with that is like, when you're exploring with a person, or you feel that someone is your person, your twin flame person, what advice would you give when it comes to recognizing for yourself whether you are, really exploring with someone in like the grounded way you should, or whether you're using that person as like a way to escape from your reality?
Mm. I was I was thinking exactly the same thing as you were talking about that. Um, the advice I would say is like an advice that Jeff often talks about, is about intention, I guess. Like, what is your intention with this person? Is your intention to gain a life by trying to have this person or grasp at this person? Or are you genuinely aligning there and having a life that can come as one as you cultivate it and grow together, or closer and closer together? Like, is your intention to have someone to make you happy, or is your intention to pursue like happiness within yourself and having the divine within yourself and your life? And I think that's something I struggled with for so many years that now I guess like I'm coming into this lesson and mastering this lesson of like intention is key. Like you, and also like however I'm gonna address the pain point here, I guess. However rich or famous your twin flame is, or you think your twin flame is, it's not gonna bring you happiness or relief. It's actually not gonna change anything. And like for days when I feel the best and most harmonious within myself is the days where I feel like someone could be here beside me and my life wouldn't change one bit, because I decide, I choose what my life is. And I still have goals, and I still have things where I gotta grow, and I still want to experience things. And a twin flame is that they don't like change you or change your life. They just like complement it. And basically you could being in the same room and do both your own things, but just sit there in peace and union and love. And I think that's the most beautiful thing that we could ever have, like the best feeling. Like, why would I want to change for someone, or why would I want to have riches just to have riches? Like, I guess that would be boring, because I would forget then like my goals in life is, and what I want to do with my career. And that's why I guess adopting was also a way to say to myself that, right, I don't want the life of someone else. I want my life, but better and better. And am I doing this because I want to be with someone? I want to be with the human being, or I want to be with superficial, shallow exterior of that person. And you know, for anyone experiencing this right now, like, don't worry. Like, if you don't have the answers today, it's okay. I've been at it for 3 years, I know. um, but don't avoid the questions either. Like, it's safe. It won't hurt you to ask this question for yourself, and it's just gonna make you grow into more love and into I guess for me, the more of a person that I want to be, like regardless of who I have in my life.
Really love that. So the last question I have for you before we dive a bit into your life purpose is, what advice would you have if, like, for a person who doesn't know who to explore with, or whether they're really guided to explore with someone, or they're just, kind of like doubting whether it's like really being guided or just kind of not really being guided. I don't know how to use the phrases, but I think you understand what I mean.
Yeah, I do. One thing that I'm always working with in ascension coaching is that no question will hurt me. And I thank God for like this community and for my coach, Michaela, for like saying like, you have a lot of questions inside of you and a lot of feelings, like it's safe to explore them all or explore what is compassionate for you at this moment. And I guess when you feel that nothing will hurt you, even your own questions and your own doubt, like you're gonna surrender control and your journey is gonna go that much faster because of it. Like you're gonna be with your twin flame that much faster because like you didn't avoid anything. Like if you try to avoid anything, you're actually going to slow it down. And yeah, I guess for me, I forgot what I wanted to say. It's like, yeah, don't be afraid to dive deep and get help. Like, because diving deep into your feelings, it's serious, it's hard. It's like trying to fix a bathtub by yourself when you don't know anything about being a plumber or something. I know because I live alone, so I have to fix things regularly. But like sometimes you just gotta call someone, like a friend, like call in a friend, or your coach, or get around people that have dealt with this before.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I feel like one thing that your story also really beautifully demonstrates is that you can only get clear by exploring, and that's really a part of this journey. Like you can't just sit alone in your room and just do the mirror exercise. That's like the big part of it. It's like an internal journey where you have to heal your inner stuff, but you also have to be willing, and this is what I feel you really shared beautifully right now, is that like you can't be afraid to go out into the world and explore relationships, people as your twin flame, and whatever God presents, puts in front of you, and really, get clear on your feelings and see, why is God bringing that to me, and kind of like engage with life.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess I've always been kind of like that, like especially when I got over my shyness when I was a kid. Like afterwards, I was like unstoppable. I was like, hey, if I gotta speak to that person and explore and be curious, well, I'm gonna do it. It won't hurt. And I know for some people it can be stressful, or if they're still shy, or if they're like, if they have social anxiety, like it won't kind of be that way. I also know that it has to be a balance. Like there's a time to talk to your twin flame, I guess, explore with them, and there's a time to do the mirror exercise. And your journey is really perfect in that, like God will guide you to like either contact them or focus more on yourself, like in whatever way. Like 2020 during COVID, like not talking to my twin flame one bit was not a waste actually, because that's when I discovered a lot about myself. And there are just like times when you need to experience like either like socializing or talking with your twin flame or other people, and times when you need to be with yourself. And I guess it's gonna be perfect for everyone. I guess someone who has really bad social anxiety, like God wouldn't push them into a sea of people and engaging with them and just taking risk always. Yeah, so it depends also on the personality.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, what I also hear is like it's really about trusting that the journey kind of does its own thing and you just ride the wave.
True, because you don't know the big plan. Like you really don't know. So trust is a big thing, and that was my biggest lesson at some point. So like it's definitely good to share with people that you don't have to get stressed over what you don't know. You're just gonna make it.
Amen. So yeah, let's I'm curious to hear a bit about your life purpose and how that has what's been happening there in the last couple of years since you've been applying the teachings of union. So just to again kind of share that quickly, you, as we've talked about, you're an artist, you do dance, music, and visual art. And the first question I have for you is when you began applying the teachings of union back in 2019, and I think you got life purpose class in 2020. Where did you feel you were at when it comes to your art back then, and how did you feel as an artist these couple of years ago?
I felt very lost, to be honest. I had a hard few years of like my family, they're not musicians per se or professional musicians, but I grew up in music, and I tried to pursue it as a career, and it didn't work. And so it's like the first frustration. I was like, God, what do I do now? Tried a bunch of things, was in a dance company up until like COVID-19. And well, COVID-19 really put a stop to that as well. So I was like, God, well, what the hell? What do I do now? Also started like in 2019 doing digital illustrations because I was in a college of school of communication, I guess, which is part marketing and part artistic direction. And I was like, yeah, I feel good there because I changed college, but like the artistic direction part, something that resonated with me a lot because I think ever since I was like 2 years old, I wanted to have my kind of my production company and do like short films, choreographed films, like handling the music as well. And I was like, oh, maybe it's starting to make sense. And then I guess life purpose class was kind of the glue to everything. I see like my thoughts as before life purpose class or TFAS as kind of scattered and not seeing the point of everything in my life. And then when you know like the deep reason about some of those things, you can start to puzzle them back together. And so I guess all of my life is like a big puzzle that I'm trying to like, or a mosaic, I guess. Jeff calls it that in some classes, a mosaic that you're still piecing together. And you would have pieced the things together, but I think like life purpose class is like you understand how to piece them faster. And so maybe I would have still been figuring out what I wanted to do right now, but now I kind of know. And And I've kind of healed also upsets with God, where I was like, I'm so completely lost, and I feel like I failed at so many things. And he was like, no, actually, you tried many things, and also all of those skill sets that you had can now add into the things that you do now, and maybe a future like artistic direction company that you wanted to have. So it was like he said, you lost like the big picture of things, but I haven't.
Oh.
And so yeah, everything that you did, every little thing that didn't even make sense at the time, like it helped to where I'm at now. So I guess life purpose, it was like a big boost of confidence as an artist. And it just like inspired me to inspire them more. I always wanted to inspire them, but I also want to help them and say like where you feel pressure or where you feel like inadequate or where you feel that someone said that it was impossible for you to grow and be the person that you want to be. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's possible, and there's another way, you know. I know it's kind of cliche, but I don't know, it just feels good. So I want people to feel good about that as well.
That's amazing. I love that. And you also recently decided to become a certified ascension coach with Breadcrumbs Universe, and you're in the training period right now.
I did, yeah. I'm not on the training period yet, but I will be
Oh, you're
in a
not?
few days.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
congratulations. I thought you already
Thanks.
were in, but that's amazing. So you're starting in a couple of days.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what was it like that made you decide to want to become an ascension coach?
Mhm. Once again, like getting clear, like um doing inner work and like talking with my coach about what I really wanted to do. And it was like there was a missing link to that whole thing that I explained about like wanting to inspire people. And she was like, have you considered ascension coaching? And I was like, yes, but can I really do it?
Mm,
and and I was like, I didn't see how the two like fit together, I guess, at the time. But now I do. And I've always like wanted to help people in one way or another. And I feel like ascension coaching does that. And I
mm,
realized that a lot of people in the community that are ascension coaches are people that, like me, have explored like many passions and skill sets and didn't really know how it all fit together, but then found this glue that is the teaching and ascension coaching. And now they're amazing at what they do. They help people, and some of them have this little niche that they're trying to develop, that was born of their passion, and but it's just like an kind of an enhanced way to help people
mm-hmm,
and do like the thing that they enjoy the most.
mm-hmm,
And I'm thinking about like divine dish or divine gaming. How cool is this that you can cook for a lifetime and help people and heal people through this, or heal people through video game and gaming and just having fun, you know. It's kind of cool. And so the more we looked at that, the more we healed, and the more I claimed it, the more it felt possible. And so I was like, yeah, why not?
mm-hmm. That is really cool. Like it's like the possibilities are endless.
Mm-hmm.
And so many times, from what you share, I feel like, big message from that is like so many times we don't even think or see all of the possibilities. And kind of what you said, like kind of have to puzzle it together. And then at one point you're gonna see the whole puzzle and be like, oh wow, okay, I see it now. This is the big masterpiece.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So over this time with your life purpose, where you've had to go through this process of putting all the puzzle pieces together, what do you feel was the biggest lesson you've learned from this process of puzzling it together?
Mm. The first thing that comes right now is like, don't try to rush the process. Don't try to rush things, because you're gonna get more frustration, and you're also gonna get slower on trying to figure out things. I know because I experienced it a lot. And so, yeah, it's exactly like the twin flame journey. No surprise there. It's like God sent me to college and to having like 2 degrees before I started like figuring any of this out, and send me to that internship or to that city, or to that job, not only to pay the bills, I guess, but also to like learn huge lessons. And I can honestly say that every studies that I had, like every internships, every job was like they all had lessons. One of them actually had a lesson about like how to be a good entrepreneur. Awful boss, but very good lessons about what not to do with your company. For example, I'm just stating examples, but like if I just wanted to like say, you know, I don't know if I can swear, but like, like I give up, like I want to do my own thing, and I want to do an artist, whatever, and not work, and not do this college degree. Well, I think it would have been a lot harder on me, because I wouldn't have listened to God. Seems easy to say right now, but it's like you'll see very clearly. At least I do in my life. Like when something is for me, especially life purpose, like I see it very clearly. Or it's like way easier to have it than any other things that I try, because any other things that I try is like it's like an impasse. And then the thing that I need to do, like the internship or the college I need to go to, it's like an open way, like a highway. And it's like, okay, I guess God wanted me to do that. And don't try to see it as a loss of time, a waste of time. It always serves a purpose.
That's really perfect. And, I actually feel like it, from what we talked before, when it comes to the twin flame part of the twin flame journey, and now we're talking when it comes to the life purpose part of your twin flame journey, is actually what you're sharing, like this one lesson of trusting the journey and just allowing it to happen for you. And yeah, trusting that everything that you're meant to do and every step that you're meant to take, or everything you're meant to see and learn, is like put right in front of you, and you just have to trust the process.
Yeah, I guess so. And one thing that we know by now, because we've been on this journey for a few years, but some people may not know, is that you can't mess up your journey. Like with God, you get an infinite amount of tries. And so if you feel like you messed up, like don't worry again. If you've blocked your twin flame, well, it's okay. You're gonna get through it and get back to a normal relationship, I promise. Yeah, it's never a mess up, basically. So you can let go of the stress and pressure of that too.
Yeah, absolutely agree to that. So yeah, I have my very last question for you today. We've already come to the end of our time. This definitely flew by.
Yeah.
So yeah, my very last question to you is, if if you could go back to the very beginning of your twin flame journey and give that version of yourself a piece of advice or a message, what would you say to her?
Mm. I hope it's not cliche too, but go all in with
It's okay if it's cliche.
go all in with the teachings. Really go all in. Don't try to speed run through the classes, but don't try to avoid them either. Go all in, not because some people in the world especially know better than you, but because they are actually human beings that went through the exact same things than you. And I know that twin flame journeys can be so unique that sometimes you feel alone in your challenge or whatever, but you're not.
Mm-hmm.
And you're so not alone that there are content, free or paid, or classes, hours of things that you can watch or listen to, that you can just consume and say like, oh wow, they went through this too. And yeah, just connect with the teachings, and it'll make you connect with amazing people.
Mm-hmm.
It will make you connect with anything. Yeah, if I have something to say is that you never do this alone. Like, I see it in the artist world, like you're not alone. Like, even when you're really like independent producer, you actually have a team around you working with you like 24/7. Why would you be alone if trying to achieve the life of your dreams? This is like the biggest achievement that you gotta have in your life. So yeah, just be confident that some people went through the same things as you.
Mm-hmm. Very powerful message. I love that. I feel very inspired by everything you shared today, and also this last piece now.
I'm glad.
So thank you very much for that. And thank you very much for being here today and sharing your entire twin flame journey with me and with our listeners. It was a delight listening to you and hearing about all of your insights and everything that you've experienced.
Yeah, my pleasure. That was really great.
Happy to hear that. And also for everyone who's listening, thank you for listening. And I invite all of you to head over to twinflamesuniverse.com, where you can find all of the products that can help you with both your life purpose and your twin flame union, and to achieve the life of your dreams and come into harmonious twin flame union. And we also have a really amazing introduction course on the website that is completely free. And you can sign up. Yeah, the button is on the website. You can sign up for it there. Otherwise, we will be back with another episode next week. And in the meantime, I wish all of you many blessings on your twin flame journey into your harmonious union.